Coming up in sports tonight, Arthur Pappas has a backup plan for Daniel Penner. Plus, the Knights need a reset on their mid-season. And also, Hannah Southwell is coming home back to the Newcastle Knights as part of the NRLW season. That's next in sports tonight.
I went into a pancake.
Oh, 9 years, remember? Oh.
And you served me. Said that you were a 400-metre runner back then.
Yeah.
And I said the first time I was with you, mark my words, in 4 years' time she'll still be cooking pancakes.
The panel, 9:30 tonight.
In sports tonight, Arthur Pappas has a backup plan for Daniel Penner. Plus, Jacob Saifidi puts the Knights mid-season to a reset. And Newcastle land Hannah Southwell for the NRLW season. Good afternoon, my name's Connor Glenn McLeod and welcome to Sports Tonight. Of course, we'll have more stories from Newcastle and the Hunter later in the bulletin. But first, Newcastle Jets coach Arthur Pappas remains hopeful of retaining star midfielder Daniel Penner, but has a contingency plan if the Brazilian departs. Penner's loan deal in Newcastle expires at the end of the month, and the 24-year-old has been linked in Sydney on a contract worth $700,000 a season. And of course, Pappas is hoping to get the Jets through to the finals of the A-League next season. In a wide-ranging interview, Pappas said the Jets were trying everything possible to re-sign Penner, who provided a league-high 11 assists to go with 4 goals last season. However, the coach is also exploring other options. Ideally, Daniel plays for the Jets. Papa said, if we can't hold on to him, it will be because of finances. It will be nothing else. We're still hopeful. But he has a backup plan. Also, a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. And also, there's been a lot of work done in the background. And everyone talks about Daniel now. 12 months ago, he was playing with the bottom team in the second division in Brazil. And also, he doubted any club would have taken a punt on him. And also, Arthur, and of course, Daniel backed the way that they were gone about recruiting. They look outside the box, but he thinks that they should have shown, and they could have been successful at it. Meanwhile, midfielders Costa Grosses and Mo Altay have inked 1-year extensions at the Jets. Meanwhile, Wellington duo Joshua Sotioro and James McGarry are yet to be confirmed, but will add to the Jets' stocks out wide. Let's move on to rugby league, and of course, Newcastle prop Daniel Saifidi felt it. He sensed it in his teammates too. Right through the change room, actually, there was a collective sigh of relief after the Knights ground out an 8-point victory over the Warriors on Saturday. In what was only their fourth win from 12 games this season, Newcastle managed to fight back from an early 12-0 deficit to come away with a 24-16 win. It wasn't pretty, but both sides made several unforced errors. But after multiple games this year, in which the Knights have been in the contest and fallen away late, Saifidi said his side showed some resilience to hold on when he said this: "I'm not going to lie, I was sitting on the bench when we were down 10-0, thinking, far out, I've seen this before." The 26-year-old prop, who was called into the New South Wales squad this week. But for us to claw our way back and get the win, it was a massive relief because it's been a roller coaster over the year, and also it was much needed going into the bye as well. He also said this: "I think that win will give us a lot of confidence leading into Penrith, who are obviously at the top of the table." Newcastle drew level on points with the Warriors following the win, but are now placed 13th on for and against. They sat in a similar position last season after winning 5 of their first dozen games before claiming 7 of the next 12 to finish 7th and qualify for the finals. And of course, Knights coach Adam O'Brien is hoping that this Knights coach Adam O'Brien hopes can this. Knights coach Adam O'Brien is hoping that this can happen again. Meanwhile, to the NRLW, and of course, women's rugby league star Hannah Southwell is coming home. Benova Castrian is poised to be announced as the Newcastle Knights' latest National Rugby League women's recruit for the upcoming season. A talented multi-sport athlete, Southwell has played in the NRLW since its inception. The 23-year-old has spent the past 3 seasons at the Sydney Roosters and played for the St George Illawarra Dragons in the league's inaugural competition in 2018. Mostly a lock, she has represented Australia and New South Wales in recent years and is in an extended squad ahead of the Women's State of Origin match in Canberra on June 24. The Cameron Park product, who helped the Roosters claim the NRLW Premiership last season, will be one of the most significant recruits the Knights have landed. And after a winless inaugural season earlier this year, the club has gone on a recruitment drive for their second campaign. The club unveiled former Brisbane Premiership winners Millie Boyle and Tamika Upton as prized signatures earlier this month, and announced the retention of first season captain Romy Tizell on Sunday. Meanwhile, Newcastle driver Sam Fricker will compete in 4 events at this week's Australian Open Championships and Commonwealth Games selection trials as he looks to kick on after his Tokyo Olympics debut. The trials, which double as qualification for the 2022 FINA World Championships, run from June the 1st to June the 4th at Ringwood's Aquanation in Victoria. 20-year-old Fricker was 28th in the men's 10 metres platform at the 2020 Olympic Games, and he will strive for first Commonwealth Games call-up this week. Meanwhile, to lawn bowls, and of course, Zone 2 players and teams had better success in the second half of the state championships, with Beresfield's David Gavin winning his first match 31-26 over Dennis Roth from Singleton RSL. Meanwhile, in match 2, he took on Zedjako Tabara from Maryland, and unfortunately just failed to reach the 27 shots needed for him to progress, going down 31-24. Meanwhile, in the senior singles, Eric Ryan, also from Beresfield, was defeated 31-29 by Terry Warder, who was from Harvard, but bounced back from a 31-14 win against Mark Langfield of Austral. Meanwhile, in round 3, Ryan took on Graham Conan of North Haven, needing a win, and also Warden to be defeated, but Ryan suffered a one-shot loss, 31-30. Warder also won, which ended Ryan's campaign. The Beresfield team of Glenn Soper, Tony Stevenson, Frank Leslie and Eric Ryan challenged Westport in match 1 with a win to Westport 24-16. Beresfield then defeated St. John's Park 25-16. They then won their clash with Maitland City 19-18, but it was not enough to get them into the semi-finals. Mayor to basketball, and of course, Charlotte Evans is aiming high, and with good reason. In the past week, the 18-year-old Newcastle Falcons power forward helped steer the emerging Opals to an upset win over Olympic silver medalist Japan, and went shot for shot with Lauren Jackson, the greatest player Australia has ever produced. Meanwhile, last night, she was in the stands to watch the Opals take on Japan at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. And if all goes to plan, Evans hopes to add it to Newcastle's production line of Opals, headed by Susie Bakovic, Jenny Screen, and the recently retired Katie Ebsui. Of course, we'll wrap it all up with the play of the day after this break. Now, before we say goodbye, it's time for our play of the day, and of course, it comes from the country versus city CABE match that occurred just about a month ago.
Good feet.
Even though City opened up the scoring with a try, but it was this try from Country that helped the Country boys secure a win. And also this one. And also the 2 tries from the Country men's winning side is our play of the day. That's it for Sports Tonight on this Wednesday, June 1, which of course is the first day of winter. And don't forget, I'll be back with the late edition of Sports Tonight at around about 10:30. See you then.
action. See it on 10 Sport.